As of yesterday, the Disney and Pixar movie Inside Out 2 has reached more than $1 billion at the box office worldwide and is the highest grossing film so far this year. So it picks up a couple years after the first movie, where the character Riley takes on more emotions like envy, embarrassment, and anxiety.
And with such a big family audience, including teenagers, Inside Out 2 has sparked a conversation about dealing with emotions. Joining us now is Trey Tucker. He is a licensed mental health therapist. Thanks for joining us, Trey.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
So you have said that you've seen a surge in people actually interested in therapy after watching this movie?
I have, and it's come from all over the place, and especially from men, because a lot of times it's a dad who took his kids to the movie, or a husband whose wife wanted him to go, and this movie opens up some topics that are, quite frankly, a little uncomfortable, especially for people that have never really been exposed to emotions or counseling. And it does it in a way that's non-threatening, and so it kind of frees people up to talk about all these topics after the movie. So I've loved the momentum it's created.
And speaking of those topics, you say that the movie is based on a type of therapy called internal family systems. Walk us through exactly what that is.
Internal family systems, it's essentially, if you look around at your own family, whether it be growing up or now, each family member has different roles that they're playing, and maybe they don't even know that they're playing that certain role. Inside of us, we have those same people or characters or family members, and the movie does an awesome job of showing that each of these emotions, or what we call parts, they all have a role, and they all are really, really trying hard to help you. It's just that sometimes the way that they're trying to help actually ends up hurting you. So anxiety, for example, almost everybody struggles with that, and it's incredibly, its intentions are really strong, and as far as really wanting to make a positive impact on you, but it's uncomfortable. So the movie takes all these different parts and shows you how they're trying to help, but sometimes they actually have friction because they're working against each other. And I was blown away by how well the producers were able to take some pretty complex concepts and put them into a movie that even 5-year-olds could understand.
So I guess it really is kind of a back and forth amongst your emotions. I mean, you say each one of them is trying to help you, but sometimes they go too far. And so it's kind of a balance. How do you achieve that balance to be a well-balanced individual?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the movie doesn't fully take you to that level. That's where each person is going to have a different experience. But the first step is what the movie does really sort of bring you into, is you got to look at your emotions as friends, and real life friends that are, you can see, they're always looking out for you and trying to help, but sometimes your friends mess up in their attempts at helping you. So you want to treat yourself or your internal parts the same way you would treat your friends who have good intentions. You're most likely not gonna, verbally beat up your friends if they make a mistake. Same thing with your own internal emotions. If you start beating those emotions up and trying to suppress them, it might temporarily work, but eventually they're going to come back with more vengeance because, again, they think they're being helpful. So if you can look at them with more of a loving, compassionate, curious state of mind, you'll do a lot better.
And the emotion of anxiety really is a major player in this movie. And we know that that is very similar to the real world. A lot of people are experiencing that. According to an American Psychiatric Association poll, U.S. adults are feeling more and more anxious. Now, we know the pandemic played a huge role in that. What else, though, factors into that rise in anxiety, if that's what you're seeing?
Absolutely. It's what I'm seeing, and it's what every other therapist that I've talked to is seeing. I think if you asked almost any other therapist, they would say anxiety is the number one issue that people are coming to them for. And of course, the pandemic was something that exacerbated it, but really the trend was already increasing. And I'm not going to blame it all on screens, but if you look at around 2007, 2008, when smartphones first started to really proliferate around the country, that's when we started noticing a really quick uprising in anxiety. But right now, I think the current, and the research shows the current, the factor that's making anxiety worse right now is a lack of face-to-face connections beyond just the superficial conversations. We've kind of lost the ability to go deep with people and to allow ourselves to be truly known. And you can't be truly loved unless you're truly known. And so between screens and earbuds and constant distractions from whether it be shows or movies. We're all kind of living in our own world, and we've lost that connection with each other. So, and I'm starting to see some little movements of people that are realizing we got to get back to those true relationships.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. It sure does. Therapist Trey Tucker, thank you so much for joining us with your insight today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.